This is After the Fire, a series about history after the events. Each season follows the long relationship between two worlds. Empires like to imagine themselves at the centre of the world. From their capitals, history seems to radiate outward. Maps are drawn with confidence. Chronicles speak in the language of inevitability. But when empires are seen from afar, they often look very different, smaller, less coherent, sometimes almost peripheral. Between Iran and India, some of the most powerful forces in world history were never experienced as centres at all. They were distant presences, filtered through intermediaries, rumours, and selective contact. If this speaks to you, stay with us, like, subscribe, and tell us what you think. Chapter 1. Rome at the Edge of Awareness. For much of antiquity, Rome never truly entered the Iranian-Indian world as a direct actor. It appeared instead as an abstraction, a power somewhere to the west, encountered through trade, diplomacy, and stories rather than conquest. In the Iranian world, Rome was known primarily through rivalry. The Parthian and later Sassanian empires defined themselves in part through their long confrontation with Roman power. Yet even here, Rome was less a cultural reference point than a strategic one. It was an adversary, not a model. India experienced Rome even more indirectly. Roman coins reached the subcontinent through Indian Ocean trade. Mediterranean goods appeared in Indian ports. But Rome itself remained distant, a source of demand rather than domination. What mattered was not Rome's ideology or institutions, but its appetite. The empire existed at the end of trade routes, not at the centre of a shared political world. Seen from Iran and India, Rome was powerful, but not universal. Chapter 2. Islam as transformation, not a rival. The rise of Islam in the 7th century altered the balance of the old world, but its effects between Iran and India unfolded unevenly. In Iran, Islam arrived as a transformative force. Political authority shifted. Religious life reorganized. Arabic became a language of learning, while Persian gradually re-emerged as a literary and administrative medium. The Iranian world was reshaped from within. In India, Islam arrived differently. It came first through merchants along the western coast, then through military campaigns in the northwest, and later through the slow spread of networks, scholars, mystics, administrators. Its presence was layered rather than total. It added new dimensions without erasing older ones. For centuries, Islam was not experienced as a single empire radiating outward. It was experienced as a series of encounters, sometimes violent, sometimes intimate, often negotiated. Between Iran and India, Islam became a connective tissue. Persianate culture carried Islamic ideas eastward. Indian experiences reshaped those ideas in return. What emerged was not a copy, but a synthesis. Islam was not simply seen from afar. It was absorbed, translated, and transformed along the way. Chapter 3. Europe before it claimed the centre. Long before Europe imagined itself as the engine of global history, it existed on the margins of the Iranian-Indian world. Medieval Europe appears rarely in Indian or Iranian sources, and when it does, it is often vague. Frankish lands, distant islands, unfamiliar rulers. Europe was one world among many, not a reference point. Even early European traders entering the Indian Ocean encountered systems they did not control. They navigated networks already shaped by centuries of Iranian, Arab, Indian, and African interaction. They adapted before they dominated. From the perspective of Iran and India, Europe was late to the conversation. It would only later claim centrality, through violence, administration, and narrative power. But before that moment, it was simply another distant presence, glimpsed at the edge of awareness. Seen from afar, empires lose their inevitability. They become one influence among many, one actor in a crowded world. Iran and India learn to relate to distant powers without surrendering their own gravity. After the fire of empire, what remains is perspective. The reminder that no center is permanent and that history always looks different depending on where you stand. Stay with us, like, subscribe, and tell us what you think.